Hey friends, happy Monday the 12th of May, fourth week of Easter. Nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I'll share with you a reflection on the daily readings. The readings are linked below. Click the link, read the readings prayerfully, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. We have readings from the Acts of the Apostles and from John's Gospel, 10th chapter. Acts of the Apostles. I mentioned it last week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Oftentimes, St. Luke describes really dramatic events in a real economy of language. And today we have another one. There's a confrontation between Jewish Christians in Jerusalem who are confronting Peter with a violation of the law of Moses, right? You entered the house of uncircumcised people and you ate with them. This is something that they wouldn't do. This is a faith issue. This is a moral issue. This is telling Peter that he's done something that as a church leader he shouldn't do. Just allow yourself to experience the drama, the tension, the pain, the challenge, the emotional turmoil that might exist in a moment like this before you move on to the rest of it, as Peter describes why it is that he did what he did. Again, for us, 20 centuries later, this is such a non-issue, that we can appreciate it maybe historically, but that's it. But to understand that this was a huge sticking point in this first generation of Christianity, and this question of the interplay between Jewish Christians and Gentile Christians and the law of Moses, and how it is that, that Jesus is saving us, and the interplay of how these folks understood how God had formed their people for centuries. It's a big, big challenge. And so just maybe spend some time praying for the own tension in our own hearts of, tradition and the way that we hand on the tradition to the next generation, the way that the Lord invites us to be open to change into the world, but at the same time to hold fast to the things that must be held fast to, and the way that looks differently for different Christian people, and to spend a bit of time with that. And then spend some time with Peter as he expresses that through prayer, through his experience of Jesus, he's come to understand that God is doing something radically new, and that there is not clean and unclean food and clean and unclean people, but that God is working something new in Jesus Christ, and that these Gentiles are coming to faith in Jesus in a powerful way, even though they aren't observing the same laws of Moses that they as Jewish Christian people were taught to observe from childhood. Just see what the Lord bubbles up inside of you as you pray with a bit of that experience of Peter and your own experience of walking faith in these days. Gospel of John. We've skipped from the 6th chapter of John now to the 10th chapter of John. This is Jesus the Good Shepherd. There are two images here. One is the sheep who hear the voice of the shepherd. The second is the sheep who enter in through the gate. So I just invite you to reflect on hearing that voice of Jesus, the voice of Jesus in the church, the voice of Jesus in the scriptures, the voice of Jesus in our own experience of prayer, the delicate balance that exists between these. And then I invite you into Jesus, who is the way, the gate for the sheep, the one into whom we pass, and the way that we've experienced salvation, new life in Jesus, and what that looks like for us to enter more fully into Jesus with our life. All right, friends, read those readings prayerfully, turn off the screen, spend some time with God before you move on to other things. Pray for the church in a time of transition. Pray for people having a hard time. Pray for peace in this world. God bless y'all.